Hello. Hello. Mic working. Hello. Is my mic working? Is my mic working? Hallå Kim! Hur är läget? Men du Kim, att få ha dig 15-20 minuter. Det är den bästa saken jag har hört på hela dagen. Va? Eller hur? Det enda, ja, men det är fantastiskt. Jag har verkligen sett fram emot den här dagen. Igår bara säga yes! MEDDICC challenge! Ja, och ja, men det är härligt. Något, something from yesterday, Kim, you liked? If something? Ja, kanske inte. Vi kör svenska. Något från gårdagen som du gillade? Mm. Ja, ja, fantastiskt liksom. Men vi kan väl ta ett snack sen i nästa vecka eller någonting. Och så hör vi vad vi kan göra liksom. Vi ska se om vi har några fler personer som kommer in här. Andy Johnson. Ja, vi kommer att ha en del engelsmän här idag. Andy Johnson. Niklas, otroligt duktiga. Andy! I'm, since you are on the call, I can be better. Hey, I want you to meet Andy. He's an extraordinary skilled guy. He knows what you don't know about ventilation, energy savings. Isn't invented yet, isn't that so? And we got super skilled people in here. We got Mikael Alvén. You're also pretty skilled in terms of ventilation, energy savings, aren't you? And service contracting. Yeah, yes, that's right. And Kim Hall, Serena. I don't think we met before. Have we met before? No, so we meet today. That's excellent. Hey, why don't you just give like a few seconds pitch about yourself? Why you here? What you want, etc. Perfectly well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Okay, so good. Men du är svensk. Pratar du svenska? I did. Because we got some English guests in here. Actually, I was talking to your boss. I don't know boss or who cares about the boss these days, but Johan Adelgård. Yeah, that's right. That's good. All right, we got some other people in here, so we're gonna do a little English here today. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, that's right. We got all this digital. If you haven't got a digital app yet, please get one. Gonna have a guest speaker today. Niklas is the CEO of the company I'm in the board with called Q Sales. And so, what's the good thing about digital apps? Well, they help you get every sales calls better. You can, if you dare to watch the feedback after the call, you're gonna see how you score. And yeah, and I created a live coach app, and some of you yesterday got the lifetime free subscription on my version. I tried it yesterday on myself, and it's quite scary. On the other hand, if you see where you are in MEDDICC, you can also see where you need to go, where you need to go next. All right, so we're gonna have a little startup session here today. Hopefully, there will be more people joining. If not, I'm so happy that you guys are here. So, for those who are new here, if you new people to the session here today, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up, Andy. Yeah, that's right. And there were some other people yesterday. So this is my private playground. I want to give back to everybody who's taught me so many things over the years. I've been around the world. I'm so grateful for that. I met extraordinary people, and some of you guys are in the call here today. And so in this session here, we'll continue to work with MEDDICC and make a run through of that. But the key thing I want to touch on today is something. I was doing 4 coaching sessions yesterday, and after 2 coaching sessions, 2 of the guys called me back because they had been talking to their customers. And in today's world, conversation is rare. Just to get to talk to people is it could be sometimes very difficult. And people ghost us, salespeople. They don't pick up the phone, they don't answer the mail, etc. So I want to talk about qualification here today, how to let go of a deal. I mean, either the deal dies slow, it's going to get a slow death, right? I got some of those deals over the years, they die very slowly. When I forget about them, they've been dead since long, right? I just didn't let them go fast enough. The other thing we can do with deals, we can put some demands on our customer and say, hey, now we've done everything we can. Now it's on your side. And I want to talk a little bit about that too. But then I want to bring in some topics. I want to talk about what I call micro conversations. And micro conversations is like phone calls, text messaging, quick mails, where you maybe spend 1 minute or less on a conversation. And if you think about this, if you just wake up in the morning, don't check your mail, don't check the news, don't check what's happening in the US, don't even check the Nvidia stock explosion yesterday. Don't do anything. Just think about the 5 people you want to call before 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, I want you all to think about 5 people that you like to talk to before 9 o'clock. Now, you can't talk to them because you're on the call with me, but otherwise, you want to talk to 5 people in the morning. You want to call them instantly. I leave my son Theo at the daycare 8 o'clock sharp, or 1 minute before or past. Then I'm on the phone straight away calling 5 guys, and I just want to talk to these 5 guys for 1 minute a person, maybe two maximum. I have one question. I'm happy with that answer. I say thank you so much. Here's what it could sound like. Hello, Niklas. How are you this morning? And he goes, yeah, pretty good. How about you? Yeah, yeah. I got one question for you. Yeah. And he goes, yeah. So I was thinking about our call the other day, and that was a question I forgot to ask. And Niklas says, yeah. Well, who actually owns the budget for this? Silence. I guess it's my boss. Could we get on a call with your boss? And he goes, sure. All right, let me know his name. I'll send an invite to next week, Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Will that work? And he goes, yeah, perfect. Have a great day. Bye bye. That's a micro conversation. It's about one question, one quick call, and just think about how you could use your time in a different way. You have 5 times 2 minute calls, and that's it for the morning. People complain about prospecting. They say, I don't have time. I get that. But what if we just use this type of micro conversation, and then we can find time to move fast? So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about today. Let's see if we can have time for all this stuff. But I wrote in the mail. I hope you got my mail this morning, that many people who are selling, SaaS software or whatever. It doesn't matter what you sell, may get caught into something called I call feature selling. All right. So feature selling is when you say, "Hey, I want to show you my software. I want to show you something." And if you're on a web call, people instantly, it's like I'm a hypnotist therapist as well. All right. It's like better than the best hypnotherapist in the world, because people instantly either fall in sleep or they start doing something else. Hey, I want to show you something. And as soon as you open, share your screen, you open your program, they fall asleep. Yeah. And even, hey, I want to take the knife and I want to stick it not in you guys, but feature sellers over the world. Had this guy on coaching, and we talked about this feature selling. And I say, I want to show you something. I say, yeah, sure. And he showed me something. I fell off my chair because he had recorded the meeting. And in the middle of the demo of this beautiful software, you hear the customer voice. She forgot to mute her mic, and you can hear, well, I'm on this boring demo with this sales guy. I hope it ends soon. It's very boring. I thought I could talk to you in between. And you hear her voice, middle of the presentation. She calls her friend and says the demo's so boring. She hope it ends soon. I mean, if you're that sales guy, how would you feel, right? And he was not paying attention to the voice until afterwards. And then he said, shit, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. Tomorrow we'll talk about closing the deal, negotiation. I'm going to give you some crazy tips on how to close deals faster, because closing is why we're here. We are here to serve our customers, but hey, we have to sell to them too. And for those who don't know me, I'm this I'm this avatar. I'm not just joking. My name is Jens Edgren. I spent 37 years of my life. I'm 62, traveling the world, training salespeople, selling sales training, writing books and blogs. And I'm living, breathing sales. And my purpose in life is to help people double their potential, make it an action. And the only way I can teach anyone anything is by teaching myself. So I spend a lot of money on my own training, on my own education. And I do tons of self development, because I found that the better I get as a person, more, let's say, I would say the more color I can get to myself, then I could give more. So the more I, develop myself, the more I can give more to other people and feel happy about it. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, my best friend. His name is Dick. And we sat down over a nice entrecote and some French fries. And he said, "Yes, what do you do when you get stuck? You know, you feel this emotional pressure on you, and you don't know what to do, and you want to call people, and hey, is nothing happening, right?" And I said to him, I learned many years ago in a training that when I feel stuck, I either give something to people, but what helps me even more, I ask someone for help. Because when I ask someone for help, I show my vulnerability and I get great advice from people. So when I feel stuck in sales, in leadership, in life, I call someone I trust and say, "Hey, I got this problem. Could you please just give me 2 minutes of your time?" And say, "Yeah, no worries." And I just feel my heart opens as I ask people for help. It's so good. My father never took help from anyone, and that didn't work out so well for him, except for having me, of course, and my sisters and brothers. But asking people for help, that's the best way to get back on track emotionally I can ever think about. Now, I'm here for you guys today. This is not only my show, it's your show. We're going to do a little bit of role playing. I have some challenging things for you. Some of you are going to get the book or e-trainings and maybe even a free consultation with me. You know, that's a cost normally $1 million or something like that, or more maybe. But what do you want to get out of this session here today? Write in the chat. Just shout. What what can we do here to serve you in the best way? Not only me, but everybody on the call as well. Write in the chat. Just say it out loud. All right. Don't be silent. Let's see if we got some chat messaging here. Yeah. Very exciting. It's like this interactive part. You don't expect to be interactive. I don't see anything in chat yet. Let's see if something comes up. Okay, I'm just here for inspiration. Okay, good. Thank you so much. No worries. That's good. Okay. Follow up yesterday. Familiar with the MEDDICC method? Yeah, we can do that. No worries. No worries. Okay, something else. Zerina, something you want. Andy, something you want. All right. More fluent in MEDDICC. Of course you want. You are already good. You know that. We can always improve. Okay. All right. Keep on writing here. Okay. So I want to go to the maybe the most important thing here today. Let's let's bite the bullet directly. All right. So what you see on the screen now is something called the MEDDICC Sales Compass. Now, the MEDDICC Sales Compass comes in many forms, and to keep the session here very short and to the point, it's simply a way for us. Yeah, Andy, I think you are free to talk anytime you want, but I think you are talking to someone else right now. Yeah, let's mute you. Okay. So the Sales Compass is a little tool I developed a couple of years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And we changed it over the years, and now it's MEDDICC compatible. It used to be solution selling oriented. Now it's MEDDICC. And the thing is that I want to tell you a little bit about something I call the happy years. And happy years is when a seller is sitting down with the case. I'm going to take an example here, and you talk to that person, or maybe the people on the customer side, and you feel good about the conversation. You may even talk about the dog and the wife and the car. You feel you can talk about anything. So whenever you hear someone in your team or hear yourself saying, "Hey, we had this great conversation," it's more a sign that you feel connected, seen, and trusted than actually the quality of the sales case. I mean, honestly, some of the cases I sold were pretty brutal. We had no emotional connection. He just wanted to buy the training. That's it. Don't why get to know Jens? Let's buy the training or the book or whatever. No relationship involved. It's like dominant people. They don't care what it is, where you come from, how you were born and stuff. They just want to buy your product and service. So the happier syndrome comes in many forms, but the first one we have to recognize that the opportunity is staying very long in the same cell stage in the pipeline. So you look at the pipeline, you see an opportunity that hasn't been moving for a week, a month, 6 months, even years. Nothing happens. And when your boss or maybe me comes over and say, "Hey, what's happening with this opportunity?" Well, we are still talking. We haven't been talking on for a while. That's a sign it's dead. And no one wants to have that news, but I'm the bringer of bad news. It's dead unless we do something. And people go, like what? Let's do the sales compass. And I'm going to send this tool to you in the break here. So the sales compass is basically built on a couple of assumptions. And assumptions will make an ass out of you, out of you and me, except in this case. And it's a good thing because we use the MEDDICC and then we assume the customer has done some own work. And I think today's society, it's a fair assumption because customers today, they go on Google AI, right? They search on, I don't know, ERP systems, service contract, they can search on anything. I'm going to Kusamet in a month or so in Thailand. I just Google AI and say, hey, where's the best diving site in Kusamet? I get tons of answers with links and everything. I can just boom. I don't have to talk to anyone anymore. So that's pretty good. So, but when we sit down and make an analysis of our case, we might find that when we really go down and say, hey, have we really understood what metrics driving the opportunity? Or did the customer use our metrics? Or maybe the metrics will be one of the criteria for the customers to buy. And how about economic buyer? We have an assumption who the economic buyer is. I have a case right now. I realized yesterday I don't have a clue who is the economic buyer. I better get and make sure I'm in alignment with that person. Let me just see if there's people that want to come in here. Yeah, Christopher Bark. Yeah, Christopher, you are so welcome back here. Right. So I better get on the phone and say, hey, who is this person? So by simply letting go of our emotional categorization of the deal, or forget about the HubSpot deal stages or whatever CRM you are using, and say, where are we really with the opportunity? Honestly, no emotions involved. It doesn't matter if it's the biggest case ever or it's the smallest case ever. If you can, you don't care about winning or care about losing, but still, where are we in the case? And as you can see here, I've done this, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times. And there are some specific patterns. And what you see in front of you right now is a typical, maybe qualified stage opportunity. We have information about pain. We know we got a great champion who likes us and all that stuff, but we are fairly low on maybe decision process and economic buyer, maybe even lower than 50. Maybe we are at 20 here. And now you're going to see how it changes the color. I mean, the size like that. And then suddenly your eyes and your brain will see, hey, we are good down here, but we lack information down here. Now, here's $1 million question. If you see you're good on pain, good on champion, but lack knowledge about economic buyer, what is the smartest thing in the world that to do now? Could anyone answer? The $1 million question, maybe $1 billion question if you're at Saab, like Jenny is, selling fighter jets and other beautiful stuff. What's the smarter thing? Did I lose you all? Is anyone still alive? Anyone can give me the answer. I'll throw in one of my books here. Anyone that says the answer to this question, what to do when you are good in one place and not much scoring on the other. I'll throw in a book here, my best book ever. But I need an answer. What to do if you're still alive? Andy is smiling. Ask questions. That's fantastic, Johan. Yeah, I'll send you the book. No worries. Okay. Ask questions about what, Johan? Yeah, and open questions about what? If you see you have no clue about, it must have happened to you. You won many times. You talk to this champion, they like you, they want to buy from you, but they don't have any money. So what do you want to ask? What are the question you would normally ask? That's right. And then you want to know who's got the money, right? Show me the money. Where's the budget? Who's got the money? Whose approval do you need? Whose name is going to be on the contract? Who's going to sign off? One of my I would say friends, business friends at least, Mats Brandt. He's the CEO now of Fujitsu in Sweden. He's a great guy. We worked together for I think 25 years or something, maybe 20 years. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. And he's got this perfect tips for getting to what we call economic buyer. And he first meeting he says, well, my name's going to be on the contract. Whose name will be on the contract from your side? So I'm going to say that again more slowly. So my name will be on the contract when we come to that point. Who from your side, whose name is going to be on the contract? And that is actually a perfect question. I mean, it's an information you want to know who's going to be, because I'm going to prepare the contract. And then the champion says, well, I'm not sure, I have to check. Okay, perfect. You go check. Let's talk in a week. Okay. And one of my students, his name is Eric Hoover, quick channel, fantastic seller. The champion came back with two answers. It could be either A or B. All right. And he said, well, let's take them both and see who signs first, with a smile. And he got, yeah, yeah, that's right. And then he got this, that I agree with you 100%. So, but my advice to you guys is already on the first meeting, second meeting latest, talk about contracts, because it shows that you are serious. It shows that you are in for business. And since contracting is a process that normally will take some time to finalize, um, then why don't we just say, "Hey, I'm preparing my contract. I know it's a bit early, maybe it's way too early, but still, I'm a analytical, ordinary guy who want to make everything is fine. So whose name's going to be in the contract?" And then it will be a parallel process to selling. Will be something you can do in between everything else, and then you find that name. So, and the compass basically will tell us the truth. Now I modified this compass a bit, and I saw the win probability went down to 0, and that's simply because if we lack economic buyer, let's go back to 50 here, then we will not sell. I mean, honestly, how many deals have you been working with over the years where everything was perfect except for one thing, lack of connection with economic buyer? Could you just write something in the chat here? I'm gonna give away a fantastic e-learning to one of you guys in here. You know, just you don't have to write the deal name, but write in the chat if you have been working with an opportunity where everything was perfect, solution match. Okay, there were metrics, there were pain. You had a great champion. You were the only one they wanted to buy from. You matched all the decision process steps. You were perfectly online on decision criteria, but the one signing off, the economic buyer, was not there. So write in the chat if that ever happened to you. If not, I'm hope it will not happen. Let's see if you write in the chat here. Anyone? Yeah, always a problem trying to get the economic buyer, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna send you an e-learning. Yeah, to how to get the economic buyer through business finance. Help me remember that. Lost the frame agreement due to wrong info. Kim, speak up. Could you speak up, please? Yes, right, right. Okay, so without torturing you too much, Kim. Okay, I don't want to torture you. You suffered enough. So let's say you could replay that part of your life, relive it, revisit it, replay it. Put it on. Yeah, what would you have done differently, if anything? Yeah, that's yeah, that's right. How has that helped you to qualify the deals? Yeah, perfect, Kim. I'm going to send you a book called Solution Selling: Success or Failure. I'm going to get it in Swedish. Please help me remember that. So how easy? What? Tell me, Kim. I mean, you've been around. How many years have you been in like business environment? Yeah. Yeah, it's very long. It's like a lifetime. I had a coaching with a session with a girl yesterday. She was 28. She wasn't even not even born when you started your business, right? When you started doing selling. So tell me, Kim, from your experience, what do you think is holding back salespeople from asking that question, like you just shared with us? Yeah, fear of what? Yeah, mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's about the script. It's called discipline. Okay. And the second one is, I think you touched on something that's so important. It's called fear of rejection. Fear. We fear of losing something. We fear we are too blunt, or we go too fast, or we maybe scare someone off, or whatever. But the interesting thing, whenever I mean, how many of you on the call here have or has had a management position? Raise your thumbs up. Have or has a management position. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Do any one of you uh, think back when you were or when you are now in your position a manager? Think back if some salesperson said, "Hey, I just want to know whose name's going to be in the contract or who's going to sign off on the budget." Would you get offended if someone asked you that question? Honestly, no. Why? 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, this thing, if you bring anything from this medic session with me here today, we are into sales, and the only reason how we can get the money is we ask, then we can ask a few ways. All right. Just want to share a few ways of asking very, very politely. Because even if they say, hey, it's my boss, can we meet with your boss? No. So in the neuro linguistic programming, in the NLP, in the coaching method that I do a lot of work with, there's some variations how we ask questions, and I want to stop here and give you a few versions of these questions. And I'm going to send the link to this webinar to you afterwards, so you can revisit this session here, because I can't write the questions as fast as I think them. All right. So one technique is to use the word normally. And you know this, Andy, we talked about in the session in UK. So how would you normally get approvals for the things you want to do? How do you normally get approvals for things you like to buy or do? And then we use the word normally because it will help the person to remember last time they wanted to buy or do something, and they will tell you from their memory, well, then I went to the boss and blah blah blah, that happened. And that gives you clue how they think about certain things. All right. The other thing would be you ask in the future state called future pace, and you say something like, imagine, you got this deal through, and then you look back on on the process getting the deal. Who were the people that you got support from, that you if you think back on this deal, who were very important and supported you and also approved the budget? Because if you only say supported you will get other champions, and they are very important. In my case, well, the salespeople liked it, and the HR director approved, liked it too, and my colleagues liked it all, everything. So you want to make sure you add an approval for spending money on this. Then you get, well, my boss signed off also, and he had to go to Germany to get the money. Very, very interested. That sounds interesting. And then we come to this turning point where we want to go meet the boss. And you know that